Hello from Japan! This is JLab. In this video, I want to tell you the whole plot of the Demon Slayer movie. Yes, there will be a ton of spoilers. The movie was a huge hit, even though many people had already read the manga and knew the outcome. The animation, the effects, the songs were amazing, making the movie so intense and memorable. So, if you like this video, you will most definitely like the movie, and try to catch it in the theaters. I will now tell you the whole plot of the movie and give you some analysis at the end. The movie begins where Kagaya Ubuyashiki is walking while calling the names of the demon slayers who have passed away. The background in the scene is so beautiful. It almost looks real. The names he reads out in the scene is the demon slayers who died in the battle with the spider demons. This scene represents that Kagaya Ubuyashiki remembers all of the demon slayers' names. The scene changes to our main characters. It picks up from the very last scene in the anime series, where Tanjiro, Zenitsu, and Inosuke arrive at the station to investigate. Inosuke is overjoyed by seeing a train for the very first time. Hearing the commotion, a police officer comes and tells the three off for holding katanas. In this era, people were not allowed to have katanas, so the three run away and jump on the leaving train. The animation for the train is so intriguing. I think that this is the scene where a lot of people first got hooked. On the train, the three meet the flame Hashira, Kyojuro Rengoku. Tanjiro asks Kyojuro about the Hinokami Kagura, which he unintentionally produced when fighting Rui. Although Kyojuro is the flame Hashira, he claims that he has never heard of the Hinokami Kagura. Kyojuro also states that Tanjiro will face difficulties because he has a black sword. No one with a black sword has ever become a Hashira before, and it is hard to tell what breath they should master. Tanjiro is a little shocked by how powerful Kyojuro is, but at the same time finds him very likable. Kyojuro explains that there has been a demon on this train, and people have been going missing. And even some of the demon slayers have gone missing. So that is why he, as a Hashira, came to investigate. A train staff with a pale face comes up to them and checks their ticket. That is when Tanjiro notices that he smells something bad. Kyojuro finds a demon hiding using blood demon art. After one swing of the sword, Kyojuro succeeds in destroying the demon and runs to another cart and kills off another demon. Seeing how skilled and strong Kyojuro is, Tanjiro, Zenitsu, and Inosuke ask him to become their masters, kind of like the Karate Kid, and Kyojuro accepts. The four happily rejoice their own win, but in reality, they have not destroyed any demons, and they have fallen asleep at their seats. The next thing Tanjiro knows is that he is walking in a snowy mountain, and there he finds his deceased brother and sister. Tanjiro runs to them and apologizes for not being able to save them and cries with both of them in his arms. But this is all actually a dream that the lower rank 1 demon, Enmu, is showing them. He believed destroying their core mentality in their sleep would make killing even the demon slayers an easy task. By the orders of Enmu, the young boys and girls tie themselves to the sleeping demon slayers. There, in the dream, Tanjiro is talking with his family at the house they used to live in. Zenitsu is enjoying a dream, having a date with Nezuko in the woods and helping her cross rivers. Inosuke is having fun adventuring a cave with his 3 minions, Tanjiro, Zenitsu, and Nezuko. Kyojuro is having a dream about reporting his becoming Hashira to his father. But his father coldly states that he does not care, and that he, nor himself, would be able to achieve much. Kyojuro leaves his father's room, thinking to himself that his father was not always like this. He used to be passionate and caring. Though treated coldly by his father, Kyojuro does not become negative, and truthfully tells his younger brother that their father did not accept him becoming Hashira, but at the same time reassures his younger brother that he is there to always believe in him. You can tell that Kyojuro is the only one with a sad dream. All these dreams are caused by the demon Enmu, and the boys and girls tied to the demon slayers are able to enter their dream to find the core in the unconscious layer of the dream. Tanjiro continues to live his life with his family, but something makes him feel uneasy. And when Tanjiro goes to the river to fetch some water, he sees his reflection telling him that this is a dream, to wake up and fight. Tanjiro tries to wake up, but the scene changes, and he is having a meal with his family. He is still in the dream. Tanjiro tries to find a way to wake up from his dream. At the same time, Nezuko, who was not affected by the blood demon art, tries to wake Tanjiro up and sets him on fire, setting fire to Tanjiro in the dream as well. Smelling Nezuko from the fire, Tanjiro runs out of the house, looking for a way out, but at the same time wishes to live here in his dream forever. His family chases after him, but Tanjiro runs away from them, apologizing and wishing he could have these happy days back. Then suddenly he hears his father's voice saying, "There is already what needs to be killed." And Tanjiro realizes what he needs to do, but it's risky, and he takes some time to make up his mind. But it is the only way. Tanjiro cuts off his own head and wakes from his dream. Although a dream, cutting off one's head is still a huge ordeal. Tanjiro then knocks out the boys and girls tied to the demon slayers and set off to find the demon on the roof of the train. Enmu explains that he likes to let people watch happy dreams and then a nightmare to see them despair. By mixing his blood into the train ticket, Enmu was able to put everyone to sleep when the train staff chipped the tickets. But he was confused why Tanjiro woke up so quickly. He also notices Tanjiro's earrings and realizes in joy that if he defeats Tanjiro, he would receive more blood from Muzan Kibutsuji. Tanjiro does not hesitate to attack Enmu, but is immediately put to sleep again. But this time Tanjiro knows how to wake up. He cuts off his head again. Enmu tries to put Tanjiro to sleep over and over again. But each time, Tanjiro wakes up in an instant. This makes Enmu panic and changes Tanjiro's dream. In the dream, Tanjiro's family accuses him for being alive and not being able to save them. But this only makes Tanjiro more angry. He wakes up and shouts to Enmu that his family would never say that to him, and cuts off Enmu's head. Demons die when their heads get cut off, but Tanjiro is confused when he sees that Enmu is still alive. Enmu explains that he has absorbed the whole train as his body, meaning that the 200 passengers on the train are all hostages. Now Tanjiro must find the neck of the demon hidden on the train, whilst protecting 200 people from any harm. Tanjiro knows that he will not be able to do this alone, and calls out for his colleagues, and Inosuke jumps out. Hearing what is going on from Tanjiro, Inosuke runs around the train, cutting up the demon. Tanjiro helps him, but the demon keeps regenerating. In another cart, Zetsu also attacks the demon while sleeping. Tanjiro, unable to see what's going on in the other carts, panics, not being able to work as a team. Then, Kyojuro Rengoku comes up to Tanjiro as he cuts the flesh of the demon using his fire breath. This is a very popular scene in Japan. As Kyojuro reaches Tanjiro, he tells him that he will take care of 5 carts in the back out of the 8 carts, and Zenitsu and Nezuko will take care of the front 3, while Tanjiro and Inosuke look for Enmu's neck, hidden on the train. This scene really emphasizes how fast, strong Kyojuro is, and how accurate his decisions are. Tanjiro meets up with Inosuke, who had already been given instructions from Kyojuro. They meet on top of the train, and Tanjiro tells Inosuke that the neck must be hidden at the front of the train where all the coal is stored. So the two run to the spot, and Tanjiro senses that the neck is under the coal cargo. Inosuke then cuts open the floor to reveal a giant neck bone, indicating that they have found the neck. Tanjiro tries to cut it, but does not make it, and the demon flesh covers over the visible neck. The two try to cut open the neck again, but Tanjiro is put to sleep again. Tanjiro wakes up as quickly as possible, but there are now more eyes growing on the flesh, and every time he makes eye contact with any of the eyes, Tanjiro is put to sleep. Over and over again, Tanjiro cuts off his head in his dream to wake up and put to sleep again. After countless times of cutting off his head, Tanjiro is unable to tell what is a dream and what is reality. This was Enmu's trap, and Tanjiro almost cut off his head in the real world. But just in time, Inosuke stops him. Enmu was not able to put Inosuke to sleep because he was not able to make eye contact with Inosuke through his boar head. The train driver who was near the coal cargo stabs Tanjiro in the stomach so that Enmu will let him see a happy dream again. Infuriated, Inosuke tells Tanjiro to leave the driver to die, but Tanjiro tries to save him too. Inosuke and Tanjiro continue to have difficulty cutting the neck of Enmu because of his regrowing flesh. Finally, Inosuke makes the neck visible again, and Tanjiro uses the Hinokami Kagura that defeated the spider demon Rui. This time he succeeds to cut the neck and finally defeats Enmu. Dying, Enmu loses all control and the train goes off the tracks. Tanjiro and Inosuke get thrown off the train, saved by Enmu's flesh, cushioning their fall. Unable to move from the wound, Tanjiro asks Inosuke to go and help the other passengers on the train to safety. As Tanjiro tries to control his breath to stop the bleeding, Enmu regrets how he could not defeat any of the demon slayers and was not able to eat a single passenger, and tries to kill Tanjiro but dies and disappears. Kyojuro Rengoku comes to see how Tanjiro is doing and advises Tanjiro how to control his breath and stop the bleeding completely. The battle is over and everyone is relieved. Then suddenly, there is a demon with the upper number 3 crested in its eyes. The relief has disappeared. All is intense again. That is because the upper number demons have not changed numbers for over 100 years, and during those years, many demon slayers have fallen victim. While Tanjiro cannot quite grasp the situation, Kyojuro attacks the demon with the fire breath, splitting the demon's arm in 2. But the next moment, the arm heals itself, as if nothing had happened, and the demon compliments Kyojiro's sword. The demon had come here to insist that Kyojiro become a demon. Right away, Kyojiro refuses this. The demon calls himself Akaza and was impressed of how high Kyojiro's skills were, and tells him that Kyojiro will never reach the peak of his skills if he does not become demon, for he will grow old and die. He goes on, "You will be able to train for hundreds of years to become even stronger than you are now." But Kyojiro answers him by saying that becoming old and dying is part of the beauty of life, and for no matter what reason, he will not become a demon. Finding that Kyojuro has no intention to change his mind, Akaza attacks Kyojuro as Kyojuro fights back with the fire breath. Although the fire breath is effective and powerful, Akaza's ability to heal at the spot wears Kyojuro down. Tanjiro watches in awe. The fight is happening so fast that he cannot follow the fight with his eyes. And while fighting, Akaza continues to insist Kyojuro to become a demon, which Kyojuro refuses every time. Inosuke tries to run to Kyojuro's aid, but acknowledges that he is not skilled enough to help him. He would only be in the way. The fight continues, but unlike Akaza, who keeps healing fully, Kyojuro's damages get worse. His left eye is deeply injured, his ribs are broken, his guts are damaged, and he starts to slow down. Unlike Kyojuro, Akaza's injuries cure quickly. He tells Kyojuro, "If you are a demon, these wounds would cure before you know it. Those wounds would only feel like scratches. No matter how hard you try, humans will never win against demons." To this, Kyojuro replies, "I will finish my duty. I will not let anybody here die." Even with such a disadvantage, Kyojuro continues to fight. He gathers his strength and attacks Akaza with one of his biggest moves. A huge explosion goes off as the two make contact, and Tanjiro and Inosuke lose the fighting too in the storm of dust. That Akaza's arm has pierced Kyojuro right through the stomach, and Kyojuro's sword had not reached Akaza. Akaza once again shouts out to Kyojuro to become a demon now that he is facing death. But Kyojuro does not hear Akaza's words and starts to remember his mother's words. The scene cuts to when Kyojuro is very young and his mother asks him why he was born stronger than others. When the young Kyojuro answers, he doesn't know. His mother answers, "It is a strong person's duty and destiny to help others who are weak." Remembering this, Kyojuro uses his final strength to cut off Akaza's neck. This surprises Akaza. As dawn comes closer, he tries to pull out his arm to get away, but Kyojuro does not let him get away and cuts further into Akaza's neck. Akaza tries to punch Kyojuro with his other arm, but Kyojuro stops that with one hand. Akaza, more desperate than ever, shouts, "You stopped it! I can't believe his strength. My arm has already gone through him." At the same time, Tanjiro and Inosuke jump in to save Kyojuro. But at the same time Inosuke reaches Akaza, he rips off his own two arms and runs away with Kyojuro's sword still in his throat. Tanjiro runs after him, but cannot reach Akaza as he runs into the dark forest. Tanjiro throws his sword at Akaza while shouting, "Don't run away!" As Akaza disappears further into the woods, Tanjiro keeps shouting, "Rengoku did not lose. He didn't let anyone die. He is the winner," as Tanjiro cries and shouts. Kyojuro gently tells Tanjiro not to shout anymore or his wounds will open. Kyojuro says there's some last words for them and starts to explain there is a book that the flame Hashiras of the past have left at his family's house, and there may be something written about the Hinokami Kagura. Tanjiro is still crying, asks Kyojuro if there's any way he could live, but Kyojuro replies there is none, and that he will die very soon. Kyojuro asks Tanjiro to tell his little brother Senjiro to pursue the path he believes is right, and to tell his father to stay in health. Then Kyojuro tells Tanjiro how he saw Nezuko fighting to save the passengers on the train, and that he now accepts her as one of the demon slayers. He then entrusts the demon slayer court to Tanjiro, Inosuke, and Zenitsu. "Don't worry about me dying here. It is my duty as a Hashira. Any Hashira would have done the same. We won't let them pick the young buds. You three must become stronger. and one day, you will become the Hashira to support the demon slayer. I believe in you. As Kyojuro says this, his deceased mother appears in front of him. He asks his mother, "Have I fulfilled my duty?" And she answers with a gentle smile, "You have done well." Fulfilling his promise with his mother to protect the weak, Kyojuro closes his eyes and smiles like an angel. With his mother's acceptance at his heart in succeeding to protect everyone on the train, Kyojuro passes on. Finding out the death of Kyojuro, Zenitsu cries over how weak he is. Inosuke scolds him for crying, but at the same time, tears would not stop running from his eyes. As the three mourned for Kyojuro, I heard the audience in the movie theater crying as well. The news of Kyojuro's death was immediately spread to the other Hashiras by the crow. All are shocked by his death. The scene cuts back to Kagaya Ubuyashiki, who praises Kyojuro for not letting a single passenger die and says that he will be joining Kyojuro very soon. So this is how the movie ends, and from here, I will analyze some of the aspects in the movie. Let me start off with the meaning of the words Kyojuro's mother said, and why Kyojuro is the only one with a sad dream. Kyojuro's mother tells him that it is a strong person's duty and destiny to help others who are weak, and Kyojuro follows his mother's words and saves many people. But why did his mother teach him to protect the weak instead of telling him to revenge the demons? It is because it is the duty of the Rengoku household. Their ancestors not only fought to fight Muzan Kibutsuji, but also always fought to save the weak. His mother wanted to pass down the family tradition to Kyojuro, the family duty of becoming the flame Hashira. This can be explained in Kyojuro's father's words, and also the actions of the first flame Hashira. Now on to why Kyojuro's dream was sad. Tanjiro had a dream of reuniting with his family and living happily as they once did. Zenitsu has a dream of enjoying time with his beloved Nezuko. And Inosuke is having fun adventuring with his three minions. All these dreams are dreams that make the dreamer happy. So what made Kyojuro happy in his dream? In his dream, he is reporting to his father that he has become a Hashira. As I said before, his father's reactions was cold. He tells Kyojuro that he doesn't care. The dream continues. He meets his little brother and he asks, "Was their father proud? Did he accept that you became Hashira?" Kyojuro answers, "You are different from me, Senjuro. You have a brother, and your brother believes in you. No matter what path you choose, you will be a great person. We will live strong, even though it could be lonely." So how is being rejected by his father and talking with his brother a happy memory? There are two reasons why. One is that Kyojuro understands his father's cold words is an act of kindness. Second is because overcoming sadness was a happy moment for Kyojuro. As a special edition, a manga episode of Kyojuro's first task as Demon Slayer was given out at the movie theater. In the story, Kyojuro's father tells him, "You, nor Senjuro, has much talent. Don't dream of stupid things. Becoming a flame Hashira in this family ends with me." Hearing this, Kyojuro finds himself wondering, the effort you put in to fulfill one's dream, even if they're not talented, to wish to help people, was that really worthless? As Kyojuro had these thoughts, his little brother Senjuro was training hard to be stronger. And when setting off to his first mission, Senjuro tells Kyojuro that he wants to become like his brother. Hearing those words, Kyojuro remembers a boy at the final task before becoming a demon slayer. "I want to be like you," a boy holding a broken sword says to Kyojuro. The boy was the same age as Kyojuro, and Kyojuro tries to reply by saying, "I'm not a Hashira or anything, but let's both work hard. Let's work hard together," something that he could always say but he couldn't get the words out at that moment, feeling that if he says that, the boy may actually die. And for the first time, Kyojiro understands how his father felt. The reason why his father kept saying that you would not become a demon slayer, you won't become a flame hashira, was because he didn't want his sons to die. He was trying to stop the two to become demon slayers. He wanted to protect them. It was his way of expressing kindness. So to Kyojiro, his father acting cold towards him was an act of kindness. And the second reason is that overcoming sadness was the point of happiness for Kyojiro. Of course, Kyojiro did not wish for his mother's death, nor did he wish for his father to change to a cold person. But to Kyojiro, both things were not a negative memory, but a positive one. So why is this? To Kyojiro, happiness is when overcoming something sad. That is why he overcomes his mother's death, his father changing, his brother's worries. The other Hashiras all have their past and traumas and continue to overcome them throughout the story. But to Kyojiro, his past is not a trauma. Kyojiro is the only Hashira who accepts his reality and moves on. That is why his rejection from his father and vowing to his brother that he will live on with his brother even though it gets lonely are a happy moment because there is a brighter future in overcoming sadness. Furthermore, Kyojiro's motto is, if you continue to try hard as long as you are alive, you can overcome any hardship. You can see how strong Kyojiro is, not just physically, but also mentally. He protected the passengers on the train from Emu. He protected the 3 demon slayers from Akaza. He finished his duty as Hashira, and he was a man who overcame his sad past with a strong mentality. Now I know that many of you are hating Akaza now for killing Kyojiro, but Akaza has his own traumas, and his way of embracing his past is very different from how Kyojiro dealt with his past. And in the movie, they are portrayed as complete opposites. In part 2, I will explain the secrets of Akaza's skills and why he pursues strength and power, and why he became a demon, and his sad past as human. This may make some of you fans of Akaza. See you in part 2! Mata ne!